If you're a product marketer, you know this feeling, right? The endless one-off request from sales for a competitive one-pager, or a partner slide, or a customer story. You basically spend your days reinventing the wheel, and it's just a massive time sink. Well, today, we're going to dive into a system that fixes this for good.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start by diagnosing a very common problem, one I like to call the reinvention trap. Then, we'll build our way out of it, designing a core system, and this is my favorite part. We're going to automate it. We'll wrap things up by looking at some common pitfalls and the core principles that'll make this system your new secret weapon for enablement.
Okay, first up, the reinvention trap. You know what I'm talking about? It's that endless cycle of creating these custom, one-off assets that all kind of look the same, but you build them from scratch every single time. It's super inefficient, it leads to inconsistent messaging, and honestly, it's a huge tax on your calendar, especially if you're a team of one.
I mean, does this sound familiar? Sales needs a quick competitive summary for a deal, so you whip something together. Then, 2 weeks later, another rep asks for something just a little bit different. And before you know it, you've got 10 versions of the same asset floating around, and nobody knows which one is the right one. It is a classic scaling problem.
So how in the world do we escape this trap? Well, the solution is actually a pretty simple but really powerful idea. A single, reusable system that can handle multiple use cases. And this right here? This is the foundation for everything we're about to build.
So here it is, the core idea. Once you have your personas and your messaging totally nailed down, the absolute fastest way to scale sales enablement is to stop creating one-off documents and start building a reusable profile system. Just one standardized template that can power 3 totally different outputs. And this table just lays it out perfectly. We've got one core template idea that just flexes depending on who you're talking to. For competitors, the output is an internal SharePoint page. Think of it as a living, breathing battle card. For partners, it's a two-parter, an internal page for your sales team and an external PDF for co-marketing. And for customers, it's a clean, sharp, external-facing PDF for your collateral library.
Okay, let's get tactical. Let's actually look at how to build this thing. We're going to break down the structure of each profile, and we'll start with the most important one of all, the battle card.
First things first, we have to totally redefine what a battle card is. So forget about those static PDFs or Word docs that are basically outdated the second you hit save. In this system, a battle card is a living SharePoint page. It has stable, predictable sections so that your sales reps and your SEs can find what they need in literally seconds because they know exactly where to look every single time.
So what goes on this page? These are the sections that really matter. You've got a quick summary, who they are, why buyers choose them, and crucially, where we win, broken down by persona. Then you get into the nitty-gritty for a deal, a talk track, links to proof points, and landmines to watch out for. But see that last one, recent activity? That's where the real magic happens.
This part right here is a total game changer. Your weekly competitive intelligence email, it isn't just an email anymore. It's a database. Every little tidbit from your newsletter gets added to a master SharePoint list. And this section on the battle card, it's just a filtered view of that list, showing only the updates for that one competitor. It is always up to date and it requires zero manual work from you. All right, next up, partners. Now these are unique because you really need 2 different views. The internal version is all about execution, the rules of engagement, who to contact, the incentives. It's for your sales team. But the external version? That is pure storytelling. Its only job is to make the partner look amazing, create a little FOMO, and get through their marketing approval process as fast as humanly possible.
And finally, customer stories. These follow that same external-facing idea. Keep it simple, keep it credible, and make it super easy to share. We use a really straightforward story structure: situation, trigger, and decision criteria. We map what they valued back to our core messaging pillars, and, this is so important, we only include metrics and quotes that have been explicitly approved.
So, we've designed the whole system. Now for the really fun part, making it run itself. This is where all that initial setup work pays off, because we can automate the most time-consuming parts of maintaining these assets, especially the battle cards.
Phase 1 is all about the foundation. You create a standard page template in SharePoint, and then you make a master competitor list where each column matches a section in that template. Then, you use something like Power Automate to set up a simple rule. Whenever a new competitor gets added to that list, boom, it automatically creates a new, pre-formatted battle card page. No more manual page creation, ever.
Okay, in Phase 2, we make the system even smarter. We add these little placeholders or tokens into our page template. You can think of them like mail merge fields. Now, Power Automate doesn't just create the page, it fills in those tokens with the content from your SharePoint list. The result is so powerful, your SharePoint list becomes the single source of truth. You update something in that list, and the Battlecard page updates automatically.
And phase 3 is where things get really intelligent. Remember that automated CI list from your newsletter? Well, now you can have an AI monitor that feed. When a new entry comes in, like say a competitor changes their pricing, the AI flags that the Battlecard might be out of date. It can even propose the exact change for you to review, approve, and then publish. This flips your whole system from being reactive to proactive. Now, obviously, automation like this requires trust, so you have to build in some guardrails. You need to scope the AI's access to only approved sources. You need to make sure SharePoint is tracking version history so you can always roll back a change if you need to. And the most important rule of all, the product marketer always has final approval before anything gets published. This is about assistance, not abdication.
You know, a system like this isn't just set it and forget it. It can definitely fail. So let's talk about the 2 most common ways I've seen these things break down and how you can stay ahead of it and keep your system healthy.
Battlecards usually fail in one of 2 ways. If they're way too long, like a novel, reps just won't use them. But if they're too thin and they don't have enough detail, reps won't trust them in a real deal. It feels unsafe. The fix is a constant feedback loop. You've got to monitor page views to see what's actually being used, and then go ask the field directly. Is this too long? Is this too short? And focus on tightening your wording over time, not constantly changing the sections.
So let's bring this all home. When you really strip it all down, this entire system is built on a really simple, scalable philosophy that you can pretty much summarize in 3 key concepts.
Here are the 3 things to really burn into your brain. First, template. Standardize your profiles to stop reinventing the wheel. Second, database. Turn your competitive intelligence from a weekly email into a structured resource you can actually use. And third, maintenance loop. Use automation to keep your assets current with as little effort as possible. And that's really the system. It's a super pragmatic way to move from this world of constant reactive requests to a truly scalable enablement engine. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Looking at your own workflow right now, what's the very first manual, repetitive task that you could turn into a system?